Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cover's Corner. If you're new here, my name is Stephanie. My husband and I live on a third of an acre in a suburb on the eastern shore of Maryland. We are a homestead in the sense that we provide as much as we can for ourselves with what we have. We are not allowed to have livestock or anything right now where we're at. So it does tie our hands a little bit, but we do what we can for ourselves with what we have, like I said. So if you're new, welcome. If you were with us last season, thanks for coming back. I hope you guys will share the videos with your friends, anybody that might be like-minded. You don't have to have acres and acres and acres of property to be sustainable and be as self-reliant as you can, like less dependent on the stores, and that's our goal, is to do what we can. You will probably hear the dogs in the background. I don't know if you can see Wrigley right there. And then Shelby is wandering around here. She gets mad. She gets mad when I don't let her in the garden with me, but she likes to eat the dirt. Like the plants she leaves, but the dirt she likes to eat. So if you were with us last year, you're going to see some new things that we've done just this spring, which is why it's taken me so long to get my first video out for the year. Made a big expansion big for us, to our garden space, and we're excited about it. So we'll go ahead and get started. We have a 25 by 64 foot, and then we just did an addition, which gives us another 15 by 27, I think it was. So we're excited about it. We get a lot more in here. This year, the aim of our garden was kind of pretty much the same as it was last year. It's a Staples garden, to do what we use in our home primarily. I think I have one or two things that aren't like the typical thing we use, just because I like to do something different every year. Try experiments too. My style of gardening may not be what you're used to, and that's okay. I like to experiment. I like to see what works and what doesn't. That's just how I've always gardened. I've been gardening for the majority of my life. So I'm not an expert though, not by any means, and I don't pretend to be. So anyway, let's get started. This is the first of one of our garlic beds. This went in last fall, and so that'll be coming out soon. We do have a couple volunteer potatoes in there. I don't know if you can see them. I'm a strong proponent of, if it volunteers in my garden, as long as it's not causing a huge issue with whatever I have growing there, I'm going to leave it, because I like to see what I can get. If you're strong enough to survive the winter, you deserve a shot, in my opinion. We have some green beans. I just threw some extra green beans in there. We go through a lot of green beans, so I grow a lot of green beans. Yes, I know I have to weed. I'm a retired firefighter. I retired after 22 years, fire EMS, and I have a back injury, so some days it takes me a little while to get going, and some days I'm fine. So you might see weeds in my garden, but I do weed, I promise. Across from the garlic here, we have some hot peppers. And these are the hot banana peppers. I did buy starts this year for these because mine did not germinate. And all of my hot peppers, that was the weirdest thing. Well, I shouldn't say. I had a couple anchos that germinated, but like my cayenne, none of them germinated this year. All my sweet peppers did great. Not sure what it was, but it happens. So banana peppers, and we have jalapenos, and this is a perfect example of what I was saying. This is a volunteer. Last year we had zucchini, yellow squash, pie pumpkin, and cucumber. I'm not sure what it's going to be. We have 3 potato beds. My shadow all the way. The starts are in just laying under the ground, under the straw. Hopefully I don't uncover some crazy critter that likes to bed down in here, because sometimes that happens. There's one of my anchos that survived, wee little bit. Volunteer tomato here, a weed, and I'm not sure if I think that is a weed. I wasn't sure at first, so I let it go, but I'll pull it out, no big deal. And another ancho there. This is our compost that we made last year, that we did this bed with. Last year we had a bed going across here. We had a bed, so this had silver tanks that are now outside the fence. there was 4 of those in here. But this year we wanted to open this up a little bit more so that we could get to our composting, because we weren't able to do it the right way last year. It was just too crowded back there. So we moved it over here, and we just tried doing a no dig bed without the box, just to see if we would like it. So this is an experimental bed. These are all my Amish paste tomatoes, looking really good. They've been in for a couple weeks now. Volunteer green bean. I think the squirrels had fun, the squirrels or the birds, with the seeds last fall or winter, because we have volunteer green beans everywhere. I'm gonna go and see what it does. Now, in between my tomatoes this year, I don't know if you can see them, I have planted rutabagas. And these need to be thinned out. I waited for them to pop up. And then I waited for those rutabaga to pop up before I put down any mulch. Nothing planted here yet. Some Thai basil. Guys, I forget I have a new camera, so and it's actually got a zoom on it. Last year I used my GoPro. Another row of Amish paste. I have 49 Amish paste tomatoes that I planted. Here is, let me zoom out, see what I mean? Sorry, let me zoom out. This is cauliflower, and we have some heading up here. Let's see if we can get in there. The shadow. Let's see if I can move that a little bit. Focus. Focus, camera, focus. It's not really there. It's not really focusing the greatest, but I have some heads coming on. I think I have like 4 of them. I'm so excited because I've never really had great success. There's one in there. Ain't nobody wants to see that close up. Sorry. I've struggled with brassicas. So I'm excited that if I get even a few of them this year. I think probably the fall crop's going to be better, because typically it gets really warm really quick here. And this year the weather's been weird, like it has been for everybody. So, but we're still kind of struggling with the brassicas, but getting a little bit better than normal. Sometimes I don't even get cauliflower heads. So here's the cabbages. As you can see, and I'll show you when I get around to the other side a little bit better. We had a little bit of damage from pests. The caterpillars are out, which is typical, but it's heading up nicely. I'm excited. Some of them, you can see some damage there. We came out last night and sprayed, well, actually Brett sprayed it for me because of my back, with BT. We don't use chemicals. We use organic when we're doing any kind of pest control. I either pick them, well, usually it's a combination of picking and like using neem oil or BT. So it's just us. You do what you need to do. No judgment. Tomatillas, I have 9 of them. I have purple hull and let's see. Oh, the Rio Grande, purple hull and Rio Grande. So this is my first year growing tomatillas. I'm excited about that. I want to make some salsa verde. I'm trying to keep this fun, guys. It's hard for me to see because I don't have the screen so I can see if it's glaring for you guys or not. So I apologize. Hopefully, I don't know where I'm at. Where are we at level wise? Hopefully it's not too bad for you. But the tomatillas are looking really good. I do have some yellowing on the leaves here, but I think that was just from them being in the pots, and because I didn't transplant them out until last week. And yes, there's a weed. It's a grass. And I always say I'm not going to weed while I'm out here doing these, but I always weed. Got lots of blossoms on them though. I want to get a much nicer, bigger camera, but I gotta save for it. We're on a budget. What can I say? This bed, this side of it, has nothing in it but some weeds so far, and volunteer beans. There's one there. There's some over there. And these beans, all the beans on, which I'll show you when we get around the other side, but all the beans on that arch actually overwintered and are volunteer. I did not plant any seeds on this middle arch, which I'll show you when we, like I said, when we get over there. I'm going to come out and clean this all out. I don't have anything going in here right now. The squash, we're going to put a couple squash plants in here, I believe. But they got a little bit yet before, probably maybe this weekend. This afternoon or tomorrow we'll get them in. There's some celery and a volunteer marigold. I had a whole bunch of marigolds here last year, so there's one there and there's one right there that are volunteered. So I will just leave them. I'll just leave them because I put flowers in the garden. I haven't put any in yet because I wait and see where I can plug them in once I get all of the planting done that I'm going to do. So broccoli looking really good. These, let's see if I can get this. I don't want a shadow either on you I should say. So I have 6 plants right here. These 2 rows, those were starts that I did, and I'm very proud of myself, you guys. Brassicas, I've never really had good luck germinating or anything, so this is a good brassica year for me so far. If I get a couple of them, it's a good year for me because I haven't had success with them lately, or before I should say, because I wasn't sure if my own seeds were going to germinate for sure, and I wanted to get, you know, I put these things in every year hoping that I get at least a couple heads. I did buy 6 of them in a little tray from Lowe's, just because. Out of those 6, 3 of them died. 3 of their plants died that a big nursery started, and all 6 of mine survived, so I'm happy. I'm like, actually, yeah, all 6 of mine survived. I was happy. But these are the heads off of the store-bought ones. We got a couple nice heads. I was gonna pick them last night. The girls wanted to have them for dinner last night, but I wanted to show them to you guys in the garden tour. So I said we gotta wait. They were kind of bummed, but you know, they'll be alright. This is bush beans. Like I said earlier, we have a lot of beans. That's a volunteer garlic from last year. And the crazy thing is, we didn't have garlic in that bed last year. We had garlic in that little round, in this little round pot right here last year. That's the extent of the garlic that we had. I'm not sure how that volunteer garlic got there, but we'll leave it and see what happens with it. Never have too much garlic, right? Okay, so these are Kentucky Wonder pole beans. My camera shut off. You know, I had the same issue with my GoPro. It would get really hot and shut off, and I was hoping that this one wasn't going to do that, and I don't know if that's the case because it doesn't feel hot, and it's not even that hot out yet. It's only like 60 degrees, so technology. Anyway, we have volunteer dill grown back from last year. We leave it for the swallowtail butterflies. If I can get some off of it, great, which is why I let it volunteer. You can see some down in here too. And with the beans, the Wonder pole beans on this side. And they do great here. We had them there last year. And they'll arch up. Hopefully the sun will let you see. They'll arch up over top, which is really cool. I'm not a big proponent of crop rotation. And I've done both methods myself, and sometimes I think that as humans we make things way more complicated than we need to on ourselves. I amend my garden every year, and the only thing, so I guess let me correct myself. The only thing that I do rotate is the squash plants, because we have a big squash bug issue here. Like, I'm from Michigan originally, and I'm in Maryland now. Way more heavy pest pressure from the squash bugs than what I'm used to in Michigan. So I do rotate those out, because the squash bug larvae will be in the ground of the bed that they were in the year before. So I just try to rotate those. If something happens and I can, it's not a big deal. I'll just get whatever squash I can get before they get decimated by it, and then plant another squash later in the season, because we have 207 growing days, I think it is. So it's plenty of time. But anyway, so that's the only vegetable that I do crop rotation on. I'm not saying I put everything in the same spot every year, but I don't worry about it. If I had something there last year, I don't worry about putting the same thing back there. The broccoli again. There's a little one right here. These 3 were the store-bought ones, the ones that have the heads right now. So I will give credit where credit is due as far as that goes. But my plants are doing pretty well. Again, oh, and I did not show the Brussels sprouts over there. We have Brussels sprouts right there along that side of the bed. All the brassicas last night got the BT treatment because of the cabbage moth. I think it's the white moth, but the cabbage caterpillars, they were eating the cabbages, so, and the Brussels sprouts had some damage, so we went and sprayed everything, because it's all brassicas. It's fine. So look at these crazy green beans from last year, like in the middle of the walkway. Like, oh, and there's dill too. I didn't see that. That's the first time I've noticed that. That little dill down there. So when that happens in the walkway, I let it go. I don't like, oh, walk around that, don't step on it. If it can survive in the walkway, it's good. I don't pull them out necessarily, but I'm not gonna like baby it, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna use my walkway. Onions from Dixondale Farms. These are Walla Walla onions, and I think I'm gonna come out and prune these a little bit, because they're not starting to bulb yet, but they're kind of drooping the tops. And I don't know if it's because of the cold. We didn't get a freeze or anything, but we got temperatures dropped 40s. Like, I don't think we had any. I think we might have had a 38-degree night after these were planted in mid-March, or beginning of March actually, but nothing below that. So I don't know if that's just the way. This is my first time growing these, so I don't know if it's just the way that these onions grow, because the other onions aren't doing this. So I don't know if it's the Walla Walla thing. I gotta research that. All of our onion starts this year were from Dixondale Farms. Very happy with their onions. I have several people I follow on YouTube that use the starts also, and have great success with them, and they have great customer service. They shipped quick, they got here quick, we had no problems with them. They were in great shape when we got them, and an excellent price also. So I think I have 300 onions between all of those spaces here I'm going to show you. So in between the varieties of onions, I did a break, and I also am experimenting with planting. So I put some carrots in here, and there's a rogue tomato plant from last year. We had no tomatoes over here last year, and there's also another one on the other side. I'll show you. I'll talk about these onions when I go to the other side. Tags for the onions are on the other side, and I'll get the names of them when we get over there. This is the completely volunteer green bean trellis, and look at all of these. I'm trying to get my shadow out of here, and look at all of these that are growing here. I don't know, maybe my shadow helps a little bit. I'll go to the other side and see if it helps. Look at, there's one right in the middle of the path. Crazy beans. That one probably will not survive. These guys on the side probably have a little bit better shot of surviving because they're off to the side. This is entirely entirely volunteer trellis in all of these beans here and all of these on this side. The weird thing is the spacing on this side. It looks like I planted them, but I didn't. I have not planted. These are all Kentucky, well, they should be Kentucky Wonder pole beans because that's what I had on here last year. Now this side, there's some on the back side, there's some on the front side, and if you look, these guys are so far advanced that they're starting to climb already. Here again is all of the tomatillas. This is weedy, but they're purple potted pole beans. This is my first year growing them. They germinated like very well. I think I have a couple spots. Like I went every pole on here, so I have 1, 2, 3 that didn't germinate on this side. But this side has 1. They look really well. They germinated fairly quickly, so I was pleased with that. The monster oregano. I don't know if I can get it all in the camera. It smells so good though. I'm going to come trim some of this back and dehydrate some of it. And the monster lemon balm in the end of this bed. I have one rogue volunteer pea from last year. This bed has not been amended yet, but it will be this weekend, because this bed will have, we're growing the jack-o'-lantern pumpkins for the kids this year for Halloween. They requested them, so I'm growing some there. I'm going to put them there in that bed. I'm going to put them up closest to like the pea, and we'll see if the pea survives. She's mad. She wants in. Say no thank you. No. Alright, enough. Go lay down. Nope. So the jack-o'-lantern pumpkin will go there, and then it's just going to trail out, and I'm probably going to trim it so it doesn't come much past here, so that we can get the mower through to the backyard, because we still do have the rest of the backyard that needs to be mowed. And we want to keep this space semi-accessible for the pickup truck, so that if we get anything that we need to haul in here. This is going to be taken out. I don't know if you guys were here last year. This was the extra dirt soil that we had for the addition we did last year of these beds. We're using that to fill in some holes in the new spot and a couple holes in the yard that our Weimaraner, Wrigley, that one, coming this way. I don't know if you can see the yard over there. He has like a racetrack. He had a racetrack. He used to have access to this end of the garden before we opened it up to the garden. And so he had a racetrack in here too. So we're going to use that dirt to fill that spot too. And we're also going to put just a dirt bed like the one down at the end of, like the one down there. We're going to put a dirt bed here and put sunflowers and stuff in there too. So alright, so this is the new part of the garden. If you were here last year, this fence went all the way across here, and that gate was right here. This is 15 by, I think it's 15 by 27 is what we figured out. Everybody's going by now. They're like, what's that crazy lady doing out there with the camera? Talking to herself. Some days we have like little traffic, and it's Friday though, so everybody's out and about, and it's a beautiful day. So anyway, so we have this new space. These are 2 by 6-ish. Now, none of, oh my gosh, there's a baby robin over here. Mama's feeding it. I'll have to be careful. Wrigley got the other baby robin earlier today, so okay. All the lumber that we used for this part of the garden and for the fence for the garden, with the exception of those 2 boxes there, because those were ones that we had used as a second layer on our potato beds last year to hold the straw in, but we discovered this year we didn't need it, was all free lumber. So my husband works for the lumber yard, so he gets the chance at scraps. So there are different links, they're different, you know, but free is free, especially given the cost of lumber right now. So we're not complaining. And we have some awesome compost that we got from a local business here. So these are 2 by 6-ish. The beds are different sizes. Doesn't matter to me, they all grow food just as well, right? So this is peaches and cream corn. I have 1, 2, 3 and a little bit of this bed down through here. I started these. They're all doing pretty well. A couple small ones, but it's okay. Let's see what we got. Robin went. They're all down through there. I told you earlier I'm all about experimenting with the garden, and this year I tried starting corn inside. I've never done that before. Usually I just seed it out, but I was like, I just want to see what happens with it. So that's what I did, and that's what all of those starts are. I'm going to take the rest of those beds and in a couple weeks I'll put in a few more. I'll fill them up with corn just so that we kind of stagger it. We're not going to grow enough in there to can a bunch, but it'd be fresh eating corn for us. So okay, and so here are some more of our tomatoes. These are semi-determinate. These are celebrity celebrity tomatoes from Haas Seeds. This is a lemon boy that I picked up at the store because I wanted the yellow and I didn't get seeds for it in time. So that's my lemon boy, but the rest are started from seed. These are the celebrities, and we have Rutgers. Rutgers are indeterminate. And then this is my unknown bed. I think if we're honest, everybody that's been gardening for a while will have that happen where you didn't tag something, or you thought you tagged it and the tag came off, or the kids helped you with it, or the dog ate the tag. Because ask me how I know. Wrigley, you're not going to get that baby bird. He sees a baby robin in the fruit patch, which we're going to go to in a second. He wants it, so that's what all the whining and craziness is about. We don't let him have them. If he gets them, it's not intentional at all. So anyway, so back to my unknown tomatoes. I have 5 of them. I'm assuming they're Amish paste because I had started the most of those, so that's what I'm going with, is that they're Amish paste. I'm going to try not to scare this birdie, guys. I might not walk in here because it's just a baby, and I don't want it to freak out and get hurt. Because we have this netting and stuff. I don't know if you can see the netting we have on our strawberry patch. We have huge strawberries starting this year. Look at that. Okay, let's see if we can get this to focus in here. Look at that. All those strawberries and the whole bed. It is loaded with them. You can see this bed. This is a 5 by 10 bed. We're so super excited. And we have grapes on this side. Okay, there's bunches, and there's a whole bunch of them through here. We have 3 different types of grapes in here. You know, I think I had this happen to me last year too, and I think I commented on it. I can be inside and not one car goes by. I come outside to video and everybody and their brother drives by with the loudest vehicles possible. So anyway, this is all of our grapes, and I don't know if you can see that birdie down there. I'm not sure what that bird is. Can you see him hiding in there? Right there. I thought it was a robin because the one earlier was a robin, but I think it is. But I don't remember the speckles on her chest. So anyway, I'm not going to go around that way. I'll show you though with the camera once the plane goes over. So the grapes just kind of go down here. We're looking at doing something else for the grapes this year to maybe get them up. Where the bird is back there. there, and all along there is blackberries. We have a rain barrel over there. The rustling is the bird. And we have raspberries there. I guess I'll try to scoot. Well, no, he's gonna. I don't know what he's doing. Okay, don't fly away. I don't want you to get hurt. Wrigley's waiting to eat you. So we're gonna go back this way. Yes, I let wildlife dictate what way I walk in my garden sometimes. Okay. Crazy dogs at the gate wanting to get in. I'll walk down this way. So the crazy bird's over there in that corner. These are the raspberries, which we got lots of blossoms on the raspberries going. And these are determinate tomatoes. These are Bella Rosos from Boss Tools. And we're going to try the Florida Weave with them this year. I've not tried it before. I've watched a couple YouTube videos. That bird is like all over back there, freaking out. I don't know if there's a nest back there. Maybe, could be. It wasn't last night when we went through there. Anyway, I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos on it. I think it might be a cool thing to just try, experiment, and like I said, I'm all about experimenting. We typically use the cattle panels for the determinants, or indeterminates I should say, and we could use one here for the determinants, but I don't know. Let's try the Florida Weave. I am going to interplant. I'm going to interplant in these spaces, like I did over there. Probably with some more rutabaga, some bunching onions maybe. Let's see what I think of. Try to use the space. This is our sweet pepper bed. These are all my starts. I have the Green Bell Touchdown from Hoss Tools, I believe. I have Marconi Red. I had a couple. I started several of the Marconi Reds. 3 germinated. That's the only one that survived. The other 2 didn't get past being little tiny starts. There's more. I think I have 5 of the green peppers. Orange snack peppers. There's one there, and there was one right in the middle by that tag. There's one in the front here. Now with those orange snack peppers, I actually bought that plant last year, excuse me, at Lowe's, and saved some of the seeds this fall just to see if they would regrow. So it's a hybrid plant. We might not get, chances are with being hybrid, we're not going to get exactly what we had last year, but it doesn't hurt to grow it. I mean, it's not taking that much space. It didn't take that much time. So we have these 2 here, and then I have one up in one of my green stalks, and the girls each have one in their tanks over there. They have some little tanks that they're responsible for. I didn't show you our apple tree. This is one of our apple trees. That's 2 years old. Well, we put it in last year, so a year technically. Okay, so I have some Mamma Mia Rosa. These are all sweet peppers. Some Carbaci peppers. I have 4 of the Mamma Mias, 2 of the Carbacis, and these are all sweet banana peppers. There's nothing on this trellis yet, but this will be where my pie pumpkins go. Other than this Candyland tomato I bought. I saved seeds from the one we had last year too, but again, it's a hybrid, so I don't know. And I tried to find the seeds to start myself, but I could not find them because I'm sure they have a million different names. I think they might be like a currant tomato because they're really, really tiny, but they are so awesome. And that was like a hit of the garden last year. So I bought another plant. Like I said, I started a couple of them, but I bought another plant just to make sure we had them again this year in case the other ones don't turn out the way they should. These are black cherry tomatoes. This trellis, and they'll trellis up. This pumpkin, I grew the pumpkin last year on this arch over in the other garden. It worked really well. It didn't quite reach all the way down to the other side, so it should work well with these tomatoes. It should work well with these tomatoes to trellis up. There's the other Candyland tomato. I actually only bought one. So here's a tip for you. If you're buying peppers or anything at the store, save yourself a little bit of money. Look for the containers that have multiple stems in each one of them. Like that Candyland tomato actually had, I bought one Candyland tomato pot for $4, but I got 2 plants out of it because there's 2 different stems in there. And I did that with my hot peppers too that I had to purchase. They had multiple stems in them, so you can just separate them easily and put them in different places, or have separate plants, I should say. So just a tip for you. This plant has national pickling cucumbers. And there goes our fire siren. I have one that I started inside that actually germinated, so that's gone there, and I just put some in the ground last week here, so I'll have 5 altogether. And this side of this trellis is the Marketmore cucumbers. I didn't have any germinate inside, so I'm hoping I get some germinate out here. Fingers crossed, because I want some slicing cucumbers. Empty for now. That will also have squash. Some bunching onions planted in here. There's some purple some dragon tail radishes planted in there. I grew them last year and they're pretty cool. They have, instead of the traditional radish that has the bulb underground, these have like, it looks like a rat tail that grows off the top of them. It's like a pod, and that's the parts that you use, and they're purple, and it's really cool. So those are, I believe, a hybrid though. I bought the seed package from Lowe's. I mean, typically I buy heirloom, open pollinated, you know, stuff like that, but sometimes I find things that are cool and I don't care. I'll grow. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't matter to me. It just, the difference is it makes it harder to save the seeds from them, because with a hybrid, you don't know that, okay, so like this year I get the dragon tail radish off of that. But if I save the seeds from that, next year I might get some throw off. You know, it might not be that seed, that plant that I get, or that produce that I get off of that plant. It might be, it's the same thing with tomatoes, like the Candyland tomatoes that I saved from last year. They could be cherry tomatoes this year, or they could be, I don't know. You know, I mean, they could just be some totally different tomato because they are hybrid. So you can get heirloom plants and stuff from some of the big box stores. You just have to look at the tags. If I see something that I think is interesting, I grab it, because I just like different things sometimes too. And then this last little patch between this pink and that sticks my marker, so I know nothing's planted on that side, is the purple top turnips. And all along the back of these 3 beds, I had to count how many I have planted Cherokee Trail beans. And I'm gonna, the idea is that we're going to trellis them up and use this fence as trellis. Now, I'm going to get this out before anybody else makes comments. I'm sure somebody's going to point out the fact that this isn't straight, this isn't like perfect. We don't care. It does the job. It keeps the dogs out. It keeps the rabbits out. And it was all free wood. That's all that matters to me. This fence, none of this fencing is set in concrete. None of it. It's made so that if we decide to move to a place with property, we can pull all this out and just fill in holes and throw seed down, grass seed down for somebody to buy if they don't want the garden space. Everything in here nothing in here, I should say, is permanent. So things get out of whack sometimes. It doesn't mean that you can't grow good food in it, so we're not worried about it. I have 2 potato grow bags here. These were potatoes that I just picked up at Walmart. Those potatoes back there, I forgot to mention, I got from I think Haas. I'll have to look. I think I got it from Haas Tools. I'm pretty sure it was Haas Tools. Because I usually order from Haas, Baker Creek, or Hudson Valley, or Eden Brothers. Those are the 4 that I usually... But I know it wasn't from... I'm pretty sure it was Haas Tools I got them from. It was my first year getting them from there. There's all different kinds, and I didn't tell you that when I was over there. We got the sampler, the gourmet sampler, for part of them that had the blue Adirondack, and it had some French fingerlings, and it had a couple different varieties, and then we got Yukon Golds, and I have to look. I can't remember the other brand, but we got like several different potatoes. This is one of the Candyland tomatoes that, and yes, there's a tomato there. I know there's a million other weeds around it. It's an ongoing battle, but it's okay. That's one of the Candyland tomatoes that I grew from the seeds I saved from last year. So that one could end up being a new variety if it doesn't throw a true Candyland tomato. So back to the onions. This is the other side of the onion bed. Let me get this out here. These are blush onions in this patch right here. And some of them are really super thick. Like, I don't know if you can tell how thick that one is over there. Look at how thick that stalk is on that. Like, it's huge. There are a few weeds in here. I did just weed earlier this week. But it's a garden. It's rained, it's been warm, it's rained, it's been warm. The weeds love it. The plants love it. So everything grows fast. Everything grows fast. More carrots. These are the Cosmic Purple carrots in here. Those germinated pretty decently. We don't get the best spring carrots here, and that's fine. These are Red Wing. This whole patch right here is Red Wing onions. I'm a Michigander at heart, born and raised, been in Maryland for 5 years. You know I'm going to go for the Red Wings. Just saying. Not that I don't like other hockey teams, but yeah. We have some radishes thrown in here. We've already harvested some out of there on salads and stuff. This is just a little batch of, what ones are these? This one's a small. The copras. So there's not many of those, but... And then, like I said, there's more carrots. I'm thinking that the dog decided that she wanted to eat the tag. So, this is what I deal with. And this is Ringmaster. These are Ringmaster onions here. You see, these carrots didn't germinate. Now, last fall, I grew a huge crop of carrots right in the same place that these onions are, right here. They did awesome. But that was in the fall, so I'm thinking that maybe that's going to be my time for growing carrots here, because they seem to germinate better. And I haven't done anything different. Like, the spacing is the same, and I did amend this bed even after, you know, this spring, so it's amended. So I'm not sure what the deal is, but the onions are doing fine in there. So I think it's just something about the weather with the carrots. The random green bean in there again. See that? If you hear my dog running around being crazy because people walk by and he's nosy. If you were here last year, you'll probably remember that from the videos. And these are the Walla Wallas with some random tomato plants. If those tomato plants get too big and start becoming a problem before these onions are out, then I'll pull them out. I don't think they will, though, because I think it's going to take them, they're so small, I think it's going to take them a while to do anything. And if I need that space for something else, I don't mind forfeiting, you know, a volunteer plant. So this space right here, like from on the inside of this walkway, I did another experiment all the way from like this tank, but it's on the inside here, but from this tank all the way down to where the other garlic tank starts, along the fence line, I planted another bush bean. I can't think of what it is right now. Oh, the scarlet runner bean I planted just to see if it'll grow. I'm like, if those beans over there are growing, maybe I can grow something in this. Doesn't hurt to try, right? Another oregano and weeds. So that's it for the big garden space. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a Candyland that I propagated from last year's seed there. Looking winky. And one there that looks a little bit better. And then that's a Thai basil. The Thai basil I purchased. And I got 3. Thanks for stopping by. This is the first video of the 2021 season. Usually last year, I think I started my videos in April. I think it was April, but the weather was so much different. So, and circumstances were just different too. Everybody was home. Now the world's changing back a little bit to normal. I don't know. What is normal? I hope you enjoyed the tour. I will be doing these weekly. It's my goal to do them weekly. And it's my goal to have them up on Saturdays. It depends on the weather and it depends on the girls' schedules. Thanks for stopping by. If you like this video, I hope you subscribe and share with your friends. And give it a thumbs up, please. That does help us greatly with the algorithm with YouTube. And I will be doing some other content. I'm working on getting some other things in place, like processing the garden stuff and that. Last year, I'm like I've said before, I'm not a professional. I'm a home canner. I do follow. Oh, my hair is crazy. I do follow all the safe canning recipes. I won't. The reflection out there. I follow the safe canning recipes. I don't go rogue and do anything crazy. If you do, that's your decision, and I'm not judging for that. I just, because I feed this to my family, I want to make sure everything, because I eat it. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna be selfish. I don't want to get sick, so I follow the recipes, you know, and I will be taking you guys along for some of those videos this year. And if there's any other types of videos that you would like to see, just drop them in the comments below. Let me know what kind you'd like to see, and I will see if I can make them happen. I hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy the beautiful weather. Enjoy your home. Enjoy your family. Don't take anything for granted. Have a great day. Thanks.